Today's Gospel, my dear friends, on this second Sunday of Lent is from Luke chapter 9, verses 28 to 36. And it is about the transfiguration of our Lord Jesus Christ. Now, we have to understand what is transfiguration. Now, let me tell you the story. Jesus took Peter, John, and James, and they went up the mountain to pray. Now, the mountain here is actually Mount Tabor, or the Mount of Transfiguration. It stands something like 600 feet above sea level. And today, when you go there in Mount Tabor, you will find on top of the mountain a chapel or a church built by a certain Antonio Berlucci in the 18th century. It's a beautiful church. It's a fortified church in the sense that it was built in the pattern of the Crusader church. And inside will be three chapels. The first is the Transfiguration Chapel, where it is believed that Jesus was transfigured. There's a little stone over there. And then when you enter the church, on your right will be a small chapel dedicated to the prophet Elijah, and on your left will be a chapel dedicated to Moses. Now, why is this composition of the church? Now, let me tell you the story. While they were praying, his face changed in appearance, and his clothing became dazzling white. And behold, two men were conversing with him, Moses and Elijah, who appeared in glory and spoke of his exodus that he was going to accomplish in Jerusalem. Peter and his companions had been overcome by sleep, but becoming fully awake, they saw his glory and the two men standing with him. As they were about to part from him, Peter said to Jesus, "Master, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." But he did not know what he was saying. While he was still speaking, a cloud came and cast its shadow over them, and they became frightened when they entered the cloud. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, "This is my chosen son, listen to him." After the voice had spoken, Jesus was found alone. They fell silent and did not at that time tell anyone what they had seen. Well, that is a reading from the Gospel of Luke chapter 9, verses 28 to 36, and this is called the Transfiguration of Jesus Christ. Well, I don't know, for those of you who believe in the so-called evolution theory, and this is, conceptualized, this is the theory posted by Charles Darwin, saying that man developed from an animal-like form to more human forms until finally it reached the Homo erectus, the Homo sapiens, the thinking man who now stands erect, because before they would say that we were just like apes and, walking on 4 legs. Perhaps I tend to believe that, because if you would look at a monkey and myself, well, anyway, what I'm saying is, for those of you who believe in the evolution theory, some people are still asking, is man still continuing to evolve? Or is this the final form of man, meaning the form that we have now? Well, we Christians believe that evolution has stopped. The final form of man is what we look like now. And so, sorry for those who would like to make androids or robots or, mechanize humans, or perhaps human experimentation, turning humans into monsters as we see them on film. Well, sorry for them, because the form that we have now, the way we look now, is the final form, and man would no longer evolve. And you know why? For a Christian, this is the final form. Man is no longer evolving. You know why? Because this is the form assumed by Jesus Christ, God. Jesus Christ when he came into this world. You see, this is the final and perfect form of man. No more. So don't expect man to develop another eye, another leg in the future, no. So the reason why we believe that man is no longer evolving, this is his final form, perfect form, it's because this is the form assumed by Jesus Christ when he became man. But man continues to be transformed, to be transfigured, now that his human or biological constitution have stopped evolving. What is next to evolve is his soul, his spirit, his mind. And this is what Jesus is saying. When Jesus was transfigured in a mountain of transfiguration in Mount Tabor, he had a perfect body. And then all of a sudden, the apostles saw him being transfigured. And the description here is quite graphic. It says his face changed in appearance, and his clothing became dazzling white. All the glory that is there. So no longer expect, please don't expect any more man to change. So those of you who are engaged in sex change, cosmetic changes, cosmetic surgery, well, that is purely physical, but please, man has stopped changing and evolving, and the only change that he would soon assume now is a change, a transformation, a transfiguration of his spirit. And Jesus showed it to us in the transfiguration. And so you see, my dear friends, a lot of people today would like to do this to their bodies, They say they want to correct the nose, the eyes, the lips, and everything. Well, that is their right. Science can help them out. But some people are not so bad, when they look, their faces, they're not so bad. Their forms are not so bad. But why still have to undergo such changes, So they would say, oh, it's for emphasis, for, what's this? I forgot the term that they used to, I forgot the name, the term that they used to say, to boost, the face or something, to highlight, the nose and something like that. Well, perhaps these are minor changes in our bodies, but this may just occupy our minds and our dispositions, that we no longer expect ourselves to change and be transformed spiritually. Transfiguration is changing spiritually. Transfigure. It's different from transform. Transform is in the form. But figure is in the shape, meaning it's something dynamic. And so the Spirit is there in us. Since man has stopped evolving, then the only thing that would evolve in him, that would change in him, is his spirit. And that's what we call transfiguration. Well, thank